Hola, 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 ¿cómo estás? Yo soy Cartes Ross. So, real quick, many of y'all have asked if I would do a tour of the home. And I kind of already made a tour or did a video of this house while we were looking. So this time what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna break this up into like three parts. I'm gonna show the first level of the house, the front yard, the backyard, the first level, and then kind of talk about some of the benefits that I'm learning more about since moving out here. With each move, there's new things we learn and understand better. And so I'm gonna talk about some of that as I show you the lower level of this house. Probably tomorrow or the next day, I'll go upstairs. I gotta make sure the rooms are clean because that's where the kids are at and I know how they do. So we'll go upstairs, and maybe on the third video, part 3, what I'll do, I'll walk around the neighborhood just to give you a bird's eye view of what things are like. Because there's some new things that I'm learning about living out here, particularly inside of a Privada. Remember, Privadas, they run a little different. And so I'm gonna share a crazy story with you in regards to that in a moment. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so this is the downstairs. Of course, you come in through the front door and you enter in through the living room, and the dining room is here. I got my desk here. Well, not my desk. I got my computer set up here so I can work down here in this area. And I'll talk about that a little later. It's something I didn't factor in while we were looking at places. So if you recall, this is a 4-bedroom house. 4 bedrooms, and there's a service room on the outside. A service room is typically where the housekeeper would stay or go take a nap or eat her lunch or do whatever she wants to do during the day while she's working. And some folks will stay in there. The service room that we have is a little tight, a little cramped, and a little small, so I wouldn't expect a person to be living there. Now, one of the things that I really like about this house is the fact that it has very tall ceilings. I don't know how far up that is, probably 30, 40 feet maybe. And one of the things that I noticed in comparison to the last 2 houses that we stayed in was how much cooler the house remains when you have high ceilings. Now, I've always known that the higher your ceiling, you know, the cooler the place is, but this is my first time actually living in a house with ceilings this high. And so the heat goes up, cool air tends to come down, and we're not having to run our air conditioner as much. Now, one of the benefits of this house is the fact that we do have 31 solar panels on the roof, and we are able to run our air conditioning as often as we like. As you can see here, most houses will generally only have one AC unit that in the downstairs area where it will cover both the living room and the dining room. But as you can see, she has one here in the dining room, and there is another AC unit here in the living room. So you can blast both of them. And I get it, because when you have solar and your electric bill is 0, why not have an extra AC unit to keep the house much cooler? There's also an AC unit right up there. I don't know if you can see that. That's an open loft area. There's a desk up there. There's a chair up there, room to put a little sofa or watch TV if you wanted to. But there's also an AC unit up there. Again, the benefits to having solar panels is what? You can run your AC without any worry of cost. One of the other things I really enjoy, I'm gonna turn the light off. I didn't know the light was on, because typically with the windows that we have here, don't necessarily need lights on during the day. So bear with me while I turn these off, because I want you to see something right quick. I'm gonna turn this one off right quick. So, as you can see, still very much lit it very well lit. Got windows there, windows here, and a strip there. So it's not all the way wide. Sometimes in many of the homes, that whole space might just be a big open window. Problem with that is, particularly depending on where the house is situated at, and sunlight coming in, there'd be a ton of light coming in and making the place super hot. The sunlight's up there. Again, they only look like about 12 by 12 squares, 12 inches by 12 inches. It gives off plenty of light into the area and keep the house really nicely lit. Another benefit is we do have a covered driveway. So if the sun is out, the sunlight is not coming in through here like in many of the homes that we have. So that's another perk. Another benefit, of course, having a driveway when it's raining outside, you get dropped off in your car or by Uber. You're not outside in that rain trying to get your bags out the car and all of that. And that is a real issue. Excuse me, I almost tripped over this little table on the floor. But as you can see, the place is really decorated. There was a beautiful picture there. The wife didn't like it, so she took it down, talking about it was demonic and blah, 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 blah. But I ain't gonna get into all of that. So this is this is the dining room, the living room and the dining room. Let me show you I'm gonna come in the kitchen for a brief moment. Again, more windows, more natural light coming in, plenty of cabinet space here, bottles and wine bottles, which I thought was a great idea with the landlord, how they decorated that. Plenty of cabinet space. One of the things I like is that very wide open sink. Many of the sinks here in Merida, there might just be a single sink. Very rare will you find one where there's two sinks, but this one is wide, so it's like having two sinks in a sense. And what you'll find, many of the stoves here that run gas, they'll have 6 burners. And so I like that. And I love some gas. So again, now the unique thing here with this refrigerator, well, not unique, but they say you can't drink the water from the faucet. So she did set this up so this dispenses water and ice, cubed ice and crushed ice. And she has it rigged up a bit. This is the pantry area where she has this, where you can get those 5-gallon water bottles. And she has some type of, and if any of y'all know what this is and talk more intelligently on it, feel free. But this is some kind of pump that connects to the 5-gallon jug, and it runs somehow to the refrigerator through the tubes. And so what that gives you is the opportunity to get fresh, clean water, cool water from your fridge, ice, and all of that stuff. So you're not having to lose that. So that's something that I like here. More windows. There's no curtains there because there's a big tall wall, privacy wall that goes up, and the neighbor has even a taller privacy wall. So you don't have to worry about anybody looking in. Let me walk out front real quick, let y'all see. One of the things that this house has, they have water sprinklers outside in the ground. It's all connected to a well. So the benefit to that is it doesn't affect your water bill. And there's one of them right there. So that'll come on. It's set on the timer. In the morning time, it'll come on and it'll water all of this. So this is the front yard. Let me step out in the driveway for a moment. And so this is the neighborhood, very well manicured. Trees everywhere. Lots of green space out here, very well manicured. And we have 2 entrances into the back. These are what you call service entrances. The pool guy can walk in through the back. They go to the back to clean the yard. There's another entrance here as well. They can come in through the back, clean up the garage. Now I'll clean up the back. We have a gardener that comes out every 15 days, I think. Every 10 days or every 10 days or every 15 days. I can't remember. So remember that. I'm gonna show you the back. So there's a gardener that comes and trim all this stuff and make sure everything is neat, pick up all this stuff. So he'll be here tomorrow. It's about that time. He'll be here tomorrow, and I'll talk more about him when I get to the back. So coming in through the front entrance again. And so, like I say, tomorrow I will come upstairs. There's 3 bedrooms upstairs, and I'll go there tomorrow and show y'all that. I'm gonna run on to the back. So there's a half bathroom downstairs. Here, just a regular bathroom, of course. This here, blah, 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 blah. I'm about to come back there if you don't want to be in this camera. You did all that talking. You ain't trying to get out from front of the camera. You trying to be in the camera. No, too late now. I just warned you. You just sitting there like you don't. So anyhow, this is one of the closets for the master bedroom. And I like the fact that they got this shelving up here so I can store a lot of stuff up there. We normally had 3 suitcases. Oh, I'm like, where's the other suitcase? One is here and the other one is here. But we normally had them up there. I don't know. We were looking for some stuff yesterday. Love the bathroom. Lots of cabinet space and drawers. Drawers here as well. Bathing suit here. Bathroom. See, you've seen one bathroom, you've seen them all, etc., etc. So, yep, still hanging around for somebody who don't want to be in front of the camera, huh? All right, so Kim set her desk up here. So this is the master bedroom, and a couple of side tables on the side, end tables, a desk over there as well, ceiling fan, air conditioning, of course, TV mount. Just didn't feel like hanging that up, but maybe we'll hang that up or take it down at some point. And as you can see here, we can go right out the back through our back door and go out to the pool and hang out there. So let me run out to the back. All right, if you can shut the door if you want and lock yourself in and blah, blah, blah. All right, so I like this here. It's covered. So the balcony is covered. They had 2 ceiling fans, and I didn't think those ceiling fans would work or really matter. Oh my God, those things make a difference. I would say definitely spend the money on a nice quality ceiling fan, because especially at night when we're out here just sitting down, oh, this thing makes all the difference. It makes all the difference in the world. I'm gonna show you this service entrance. So that was one of the service entrances here that I showed you from the front. That's out there as well. So now, like I say, the gardeners will be here tomorrow. These have fallen onto the ground since his last visit, and they'll come in, they'll pick that up and trim it, they'll cut the grass and all of that. And so here's no clown face here, acting crazy. Didn't think I was gonna show her. I don't know why. After all this time, she know what's gonna happen. Would be surprised. So I'll hear her mouth flapping off at the jaw, mad because I put her on camera. But like I said, she be looking for attention. So anyhow, I love how they did this. Although the walls are pretty high already. Let me stand up beside this wall. I'm curious trying to get an estimate how tall the wall is. I'm 6 feet. I think that's probably about a 8.5 foot wall. So even though we have an 8.5 foot wall that goes all the way around, these bamboo is what I'm assuming. Bamboo, it adds much more privacy to the property. And another benefit, the pool, a lot of this stuff don't fall off. I mean, the big things fall off, but there's not a lot of tiny little leaves falling into the pool. So I love these. So when it's time for me to buy a house or build a house or something, I got all this in mind. I'm already looking at doing something like this. So again, the gardener, he'll be here tomorrow. They'll pick up all this stuff, and some of the dead stuff, they'll pull that stuff down Like there's a piece back there that's dead on the, they'll pull all that down and all of that. So I love my pool. This pool's about 5.5 feet deep, cause it comes right up to my nose line when I'm in the water. It doesn't look as big in this photo, in the video, but it's quite large. This is the back. What the heck? Had a hammock hooked up. One of the kids done knocked it down. I don't know what they did that for. But anyhow, so this is the pool area. We hang out here often, practically every night, and we just have a good time out here in the water, and just have a good time. Each of the kids have a balcony off of their bedroom. Balcony there, the other bedroom, and on the front, there's another bedroom on the front side that has a balcony. This is our bedroom. Kim closed the blinds already. Sitting area here, and again, 2 more ceiling fans makes all the difference in the world when we're sitting out here at night. It just keeps the place cool, and these lights out here, maybe at nighttime, I'll come out here and get another clip of this area so that you can see what it looks like. There's a mini fridge over there. They got lights on those little green things, little tiny lights that come on. These light bulbs here all around, and it just looks really, really, really nice and comfortable. Have some folks over and just have a good time. There's a sink over there, some underground shelving, like I say, refrigerator. These are the pumps to the pool, filtration, water filter, well, and all of that good stuff. And again, this is the service area. Let me walk back here, see what's, I don't know what that water is right there. Look into that. One of the things you won't know, that you'll notice, one of the things in Mexico, they don't keep water heaters in the house. So that's why you don't see any carbon monoxide detectors. You hear all these stories about all these folks dying. Really, not really a thing, because again, most of the time the gas tanks, they're either on top of the roof, water heaters outside. So the likelihood of your house blowing up or getting carbon monoxide poisoning is very slim. Oftentimes I've been watching the news lately and hearing about these houses blowing up because what happened is a leak, and there's a leak and that gas built up inside of a confined area, and so a spark will set that thing off, and then boom, whole house blow up. But if the gas were to leak out here, it's going outside. It's not in a confined space. It's not gonna blow the whole house up like they got things going on in the States. I don't know, some of the stuff that we do don't make sense. But also, like I said, the place included rent, included a washer and dryer. She got these. One thing you need to understand when you move here, and if you buy a washer and dryer, and I'm glad we didn't buy one until we saw this setup. They have these filters that capture. There's a lot of minerals, heavy mineral content in the waters here in Mexico, Merida particularly. And these filters will catch these minerals. You know, you twist this off and rinse it out every month or two, and you'll see all the sediment built up in that, in rocks and minerals and stuff. You rinse that out. But this captures it before it goes into your washing machine and tear your stuff up. You know what I mean? So little things like that I wasn't aware of. Now, like I say, here is this is also a service room. They got hammock hooks here, one there, and I get, okay, here's the other one. It comes to here, and they would sleep in those hammocks or rest in the hammocks. Service rooms, you can generally recognize them because they generally have their own bathroom. And as you can see here, there's a full, complete bathroom, toilet, sink, shower, etc. And so it's a little tight. Many places, many people don't use washer and dryer, so this would not be in here. and this here would be open space for a housekeeper. But I would like to give my housekeeper a much bigger space. Maybe I'm being too extra, but as you can see, this is a long distance, and there's about 15 feet behind me and 15 more feet in front of me before we even get out of here. That's just to kind of give you a depth about how big this house really is. And it's a very lengthy house, a lot of space. So, I forgot to tell you about this garden. So let me turn around. So again, look at all that space. It's hard, see how far that is. That's probably at least 100 feet, maybe more. This is long. And there's a gate here as well that you can shut off. So if you have pets or anything like that, you can keep them confined to the house. Gardeners, imagine, again, Mexico, you can actually afford to have a life. So gardener coming out, cutting your grass, cutting the front, trimming the flowers and the thing, getting all this stuff up and all that, $10 to $15. Can you afford that? Somebody come out here and cut your grass, $10, $12. You know what I mean? You can afford that. You can have a yard and don't have to worry about doing the work yourself. Every 15 days, they come out $10. So that's twice in a month, $20 a month. And they coming out here trimming and taking care of all of that. You know what I mean? That's what I love about Mexico life. I'm gonna get the exact price tomorrow. It was included in our rent. So, but I know gardeners on average, you can typically get them out here for like $15 for the whole day. You know what I mean? We're talking maybe 6-8 hours, $15. You know what I mean? So if you had a lot of work need to be done or you needed some help or assistance, you can afford to get that. So tomorrow the grass will be cut. When I make the video, I might try and catch them while they out here, get a clip. But we got 31 panels. Like I say, that makes all the difference in the yard, in the cost of our electric bill. Like I said, our electric bill at the other place was outrageous. Oh, so what I was telling you, so one of the things about living in Privada is every one of them have their own rules, and it's very important that you read and understand what you're getting into when you move into a Privada. So for example, we needed some pool service work done to the house, over the weekend on Saturday. And so we called, the guy said he was gonna be at the house at 8 o'clock. And so of course, in the Privada, you gotta call the guard at the front door, at the front desk, the front entrance, or send them a message on WhatsApp and say, hey, I got a guest coming. His name is such and such. He'll be here around 9 or 10. Let him through. So we did that only for them to tell us, well, it's a holiday. We don't allow service folks into the community on the holiday. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? So I can't have nobody come. So unless it was an emergency, like my plumbing was jacked up or something like that, and we couldn't flush toilets or something like that in an emergency, they may let them in, let that guy in. But general service work, they don't let anybody in on the holidays. I guess it's and I get it. You know what I mean? Everybody's off work and they don't want folks to be disturbed with all the noise, the construction, hammering, beating on the walls, or whatever folk do, service folk do when they come out to the property. They don't want nobody cutting the grass, creating all this noise. They want people to be able to relax. But still, you know, when it's my house, it's like, if I want the pool guy to come by, I want him to come by. You know what I mean? So so there's some pros and cons with Privada. So if you're looking at moving into a Privada, look into the details of the particular Privada that you're in, find out what the rules are, so you won't be surprised with some of the stuff you just don't even know what to ask for. And that was one of them. I would never have known to ask for that. Half the battle in making this transition work is having a plan, coming up with a plan, mapping out the plan, and then most importantly, sticking to the plan. Many people that have problems when they arrive out here, most of the time they're hightailing it back due to lack of a plan or not following the plan that they just kind of threw together. So you got to plan this out. This is not, you're about to uproot and change your whole life. Moving to a different country where everything that you've known and everything that you're accustomed to, when you get here, it's going to be thrown out the window. So you're going to have to adjust, you're going to have to adapt, you're going to have to get your head game right, mindset right. And a lot of the frustrations can be avoided with a nice, detailed plan of what you're going to do. So check out the Academy. We'll help you come up with a plan. We go pretty in depth into that, helping you identify your goals, what your wants are. And that, again, half the battle, knowing what your wants are. Some folks, one of the biggest things that people tend to have frustration with is not understanding the language and having a challenge learning the language. It's a process. It takes time. It takes work. And there are plenty of other countries where you don't have to go learn the language. They speak English. Many places like in Southeast Asia, although they speak their own tongue, most of the folks there, they speak English. English is a primary language there. So you don't have to know the language in different parts of the world where English is widely spoken. So if that is something that will stress you out and cause a lot of frustration, there's just some places you could just eliminate off the list. And, because Spanish is widely spoken here. It's widely spoken. And after being here for 2.5 years, as I learn more and understand more Spanish, I clearly see the benefits of knowing the language. So my effort now has been pushed and shifted towards learning my Spanish, practicing my Spanish every chance I get. So, but if that's an issue for you, don't waste your time. There are places you can go where the language barrier won't be an issue, but it's going to require you to do the research. So that's why I'm saying sign up for the Academy. We'll help you sort through this stuff. And because I hate to see you come out here, spend all your money, and then you're like, this is too much for me. And for many folks, it is going to be a lot. It's too much to bear. I've seen grown folk crying because they couldn't order a hamburger or they couldn't order a glass of water. It's like you're starting over from scratch. It's like you're a baby. It's like you're a child. You're a grown man. You're a grown woman. And it's like, I can't even order a hot dog. And it's like you're starting over. So, and that's an issue for many people. The key is you have to be true to yourself and honest with yourself. If that is an issue that you think can break you, be honest. It's like, okay, I'm gonna keep looking. Fine, there is a place for you, but you're gonna have to put in the work and do the research. And there is a place that you can thrive in and be just as happy. So that's that. So moveabroadandthrive.com/academy. Book a consultation, moveabroadandthrive.com/consultation. And if you need help with relocation, reach out to us, shoot me an email, cartes@cartesross.com. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of the house. Like I said, I'm going to show you a part 2 in the next day or two, and then we'll do a part 3 of the neighborhood as well. If you find our content useful, please consider making a donation. If you like to get on the phone and chit chat, talk about a strategy, if you're coming out here to visit, need some feedback or need some help, need me to go out and look at some property for you or whatever, let's hop on the phone and get on the telephone consultation and talk through some things, figure out what you need. I got the link below on the screen. I got a link in the description, moveabroadandthrive.com/consultation.